Councilmember Blumenfield.
Thank you. I'd like to adjourn this body in memory of the victims of the attack by the terrorist organization known as Hamas. It was 1 year ago yesterday, and the death toll of the hostages has only grown in that time. We'll have a rolling list of the victims as I speak. The names of over 800 civilians who were murdered in their homes, towns, and communities confronting Hamas terrorists during the brutal attack that took place during a peace festival on October 7th, 2023, as well as the subsequent attack on October 7th. Those names are here. It doesn't include the first responders and a number of others. Many of us here around this horseshoe were at the incredibly moving memorial last night at the Saban Theater, or at many of the other memorials that happened this past weekend over the last few days. Some of us have visited the Nova exhibit in Culver City, where the massacre at the music festival is vividly documented, and I urge anyone who hasn't been there to go and bear witness to what happened. While the attack was 1 year ago, it's important to realize that it wasn't just a one-day event. Rocket attacks from Gaza into Israel continue to this day. Just yesterday, at least a dozen rockets were shot from Gaza into Israel. Can you imagine how many rockets would be shot at Israel if Israel hadn't invaded in self-defense? And rockets continue to be shot at Israel, not just from Gaza, but from the West Bank, Lebanon, and of course, most recently from the state sponsor of all that regional terrorism, Iran. I have staff with family in Lebanon who say they are hoping and counting on Israel to help them rid themselves of Hezbollah. My point is that the victims of Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Iranian regime go beyond the Israelis that they have killed. It's their own people who are oppressed and victimized by their regime, and frankly, by the deadly consequences of the inevitable responses to the attacks. While today we are adjourning for the people killed directly by the October 7th massacre, we also recognize the tragedy of all the people killed and oppressed as a consequence of the continued direct and indirect actions taken by Hamas and its terrorist sponsors. The list of the names scrolling on the screen is a graphic reminder about the human toll of the October 7th massacre, the worst massacre of Jews since the Holocaust. And I think it's important to see the names to help counter the revisionist history that I sometimes sadly see propagated. It's time to stop laying blame on innocent people in Israel and their neighbors who sought peace at a music festival and clearly lay blame where it belongs. On the terrorists who attacked Israel on October 7th, who attacked Israel before October 7th, despite a ceasefire that was in place, and who continue to attack Israel to this day. The only reason that we don't see more dead people in Israel every day is because of the Iron Dome, which is literally intercepting missiles every day. Look at the map. See that Israel is the size of New Jersey, surrounded by these massive countries where many regimes that have wanted to wipe them out are. This last year has torn me apart and should tear any decent person apart who follows the news. It is horrible that it has been a year. It's been a horrible year, and the hostages who were murdered are still being held in cages or in tunnels. And no matter what you think that the government of Israel should or shouldn't do, we should all be united against the evil intent of Hamas and Hezbollah to wipe out Israel and all of its inhabitants. I hope our world leaders can work together to dismantle this terrorist organization before it's too late, and I hope our local leaders and residents will see what's actually happening in the Middle East. I pray for peace, and I ask that we adjourn in the victims of the massacre that happened 1 year ago today. May they rest in peace, they may rest in power, and may their memories be a blessing.
Thank you so much. Councilmember Yaroslavsky.
Thank you, Councilmember Blumenfield. I ask to be added to that adjourning motion.
Thank you.
I'd like to be added as well.
Councilmember Park, Councilmember Yaroslavsky, Councilmember De Leon, Councilmember Hutt. This is an all-council, so people don't have to raise their mic. So this will be an all-council adjourning motion. Thank you so much, Mr. Blumenfield, for bringing that to us. Any other adjourning motions for today? Seeing none, we are adjourned. Thank you so much, everybody.